folks filing into Great American Ballpark on the riverfront section of Cincinnati, Ohio. Plenty of Pirate fans here as well today for the fourth and final game of this four-game weekend set. The Bucks looking to split this one. Hi again, everybody, with John Wehner. I'm Tim Neverett. So glad you're watching Pirates baseball with us. Jung-Ho Kang, since he became a full-time starter when Josh Harrison went down, has been terrific. Last night, an upper deck 432-foot home run.
He's been on fire. He's a hitting machine, hitting .449 over his last 13 games. Home runs, doubles. Iglesias was throwing some great breaking balls last night. He got one up to Jung-Ho, and he hit it like he knew it was coming. He crushed it. Kind of a shame that Jung-Ho has had more opportunities with runners on base, because he'd be knocking them in. The average since July 6, 400 OPS. All these rankings, third in the NL, very impressive. He'd be up there in RBIs again if he had more opportunities to drive him in the fourth slot tonight, so hopefully there'll be runners on for him.
That's our Barrel Automotive League leaders staff. Jung-Ho Kang and the Pirates looking for a victory as Charlie Morton will take the hill. He's done well here at Great American Ballpark. He hasn't lost in his last 6 starts here. Looking for a split with the Reds. First pitch and lineups coming up. In Cincinnati on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. Charlie Morton getting ready to make his 13th start of the season. Charlie's 6-4 on the year, and he's done well at Great American Ballpark. Tuesday got a no decision against the Twins after pitching 5 2/3 innings. He faces Kivas Sampson in his first major league start.
Yeah, Charlie Morton likes pitching here, but hasn't pitched well on the road. And this is 4th straight road start. For Charlie, it's always about that command, the nut sinker and the curveball. For Sampson, didn't have a great year in AAA, getting an opportunity. A guy, fastball, curveball, changeup guy, pretty good velocity. See if the Pirates can do some damage against him.
Charlie Morton looking for a win, and the Pirates looking for a split against the Reds here today. Let's send you back to Pittsburgh in our Root Sports studios. Stan Potash is standing by with this game break.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota helps you get the most out of your drive. Just ask a friend who drives one. Toyota, let's go places. And by Barrel Automotive, we're driven to be better. Let's go Bucks.
Sunny day here in Cincinnati. We get ready for the last game of this 4-game set. Final game of this road trip for the Pirates. Pirates took 2 in Minnesota. They've taken 1 here so far. A chance to go 4-2 in this 6-game trip before heading home tomorrow night to open a 3-gamer with the Chicago Cubs. Gregory Polanco, Starling Marte will be the first 2 hitters for the Pirates this afternoon. And we take a look at the Toyota lineup. Polanco, Marte, McCutchen, and Jung Ho Kang back in the cleanup spot with Noah Ramos Ramirez today. Jung Ho has multiple hits in 9 of his last 13 games. Neil Walker bats 5th, Cervelli 6th, Alvarez 7th. Sean Rodriguez will play 3rd base and hit 8th. And the pitcher, Charlie Morton, will bat 9th against right-hander Kivas Sampson. 2nd major league appearance, made his debut Thursday night against the Pirates, 1 inning of relief, and today makes his first big league start.
Yeah, 5 rookies in this Reds rotation, and Sampson, not very impressive numbers, the 508 earned run average, although his best start as a member of the Reds organization was against, oddly enough, the Indianapolis Indians, the Pirates AAA club, where he went 8 scoreless innings, walked a couple, struck out 4. And so I think after that start, deserved a look, and so here he is in the rotation for the Reds.
And defensively, as we take a look at De Jesus at first base today. No Joey Votto in the lineup for the Reds. Phillips at second, Suarez at short, Frazier at third. Skip Schumacher gets the start in left field. Billy Hamilton is out today. Marlon Byrd in center. Jay Bruce in right. Tucker Barnhart catching Kivas Sampson. But Byrd has played all 3 outfield positions in this series so far. So Polanco standing in against Sampson. And we are now underway. Ball 1. Numbers on Gregory, 247, 4 homers, and 30 runs batted in. Pirates had a chance in the 9th inning last night, Rock, against Aroldis Chapman. Polanco drew a walk in that 9th inning. And Marte was up with the bases loaded, struck out. But the Battling Bucks battled back and almost pulled that one out.
Yeah, there were some good at-bats there late in the ball game. Just couldn't get that big blow from Marte. Even you look at the Jung Ho at bat. Just missed hitting the ball out off of Chapman earlier in that inning.
Gets away. That's a strike. Or no. The appeal down to third. Gregory wasn't sure. He had to start down to first base regardless.
Yeah, and that's a tough one. If you're the home plate umpire, you want to get an appeal as soon as possible on a ball like this. You see Polanco doesn't think he went. Rayburn hurried up and pointed at Rob Drake at third. Got the safe sign.
DJ Rayburn, home plate umpire this afternoon. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. 3-2. Joe West is the crew chief. He is umpiring at first today. Kerwin Danley, the umpire at second. Rob Drake back at third. Full count to Polanco. It is fouled back into the seats. Gregory's done a super job getting on base. He's reached base safely 21 of his last 22 games. Joey Votto for the Reds had a streak of 21 straight snap last night. He struck out 3 times. He's out of the lineup today. Polanco's been pretty much keeping pace with him. 3-2 slap foul. Rivers Casino tips to win today.
Well, let's take advantage of the rookie pitcher. The Pirates really haven't in this series. The 3 rookies prior to Sampson got 1 win out of it, and then you hope to get 6 strong from Charlie. Hot, humid day here today. Charlie has pitched well here.
Polanco down on strikes, and there's 1 away.
Oh, he chases fastball well out of the zone. That's one there, maybe a little tail towards the end. Polanco figuring too close to take. Tried to fight off another, but came up empty.
Marte went 0 for 5 in the ball game last night. Made another tremendous defensive play in the first inning, robbing Jay Bruce of a hit. And this one is skied to left toward the line. Schumacher. And Schumacher's going to run out of room. Nope, he didn't run out of room. It came back on him. Makes the catch up against the padding for the second out.
And that's one as a hitter. He put a good swing on it. You got backspin. But as you can see there, wow, that's a heck of a play. When a ball's hit that high in the air and you stay inside it, as Marte got a piece of Tucker Barnhart, you stay with it as an outfielder because that ball will come back towards the field of play. That's a good play by Schumacher.
Andrew McCutchen takes a strike. Pirates did get a brief look at Kivas Sampson on Thursday night when he made his big league debut. He pitched just 1 inning. He did strike out 2, but they'll get an extended look. Only a couple of players got to face him. I know, Rock, certain guys don't like necessarily to face a guy for the first time. They don't have that familiarity.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to. What you like to see early on is what does he have? How good's the breaking ball? How much movement's on the fastball? Last night with Iglesias, he had a lot of movement. Ball running into righties, away to lefties. Good breaking ball, changeup. And now Sampson, more of a traditional fastball curveball guy. Looks more like a 4-seamer. Doesn't have as much movement. Likes to throw up in the zone. From what we've seen so far, the curveball sharp, but hasn't shown much command of it. Except that one.
Foul tips the ball into the glove of Barnhart for strike 3. 2 strikeouts in his first big league start. Here comes Charlie Morton. Price's team has found a way against the Pirates this year. This is the lineup that Price sends out today. Brandon Phillips, Skip Schumacher batting second, Todd Frazier, Jay Bruce, and then batting fifth, Marlon Byrd. 7 out of 13 in this series with 2 home runs and a triple. He has 5 home runs against the Pirates this season. Tucker Barnhart, switch hitting catcher, will hit next. Eugenio Suarez, a career-high 3 RBIs last night. Don DeJesus at first, and Kivas Sampson has not taken a big league at-bat yet, but he will here this afternoon. Charlie Morton and his numbers.
Crown Chuck, 13th start, 6-4, 4.61 the ERA. First inning, always important for Charlie Morton. 16 of his 38 runs have come in the first. The league has hit .370 in the early going against Charlie.
And we've seen what the Reds have done to the Pirates this year in the first inning, so that's a bad trend for Charlie, but starts it off in a good way with a bouncer to Walker, and Phillips is out quickly.
I'd like to see that hot day like today for Charlie Morton. Get that ball in the strike zone early, get the weak contact.
Sean Rodriguez gets the start at third base today. Young at short, Walker and Alvarez around the rest of the infield. Marte, McCutchen, Polanco left to right in the outfield with Cervelli doing the catching. Francisco had part of the night off last night. Both he and Chris Stewart ended up catching. Swinging bunt. Charlie jumps on it, fires quickly, and Schumacher is out. Tried the head first slide, and doesn't always get you there.
No, I don't believe it gets you there any faster. That's pretty good play by Charlie Morton. Big swing, a little nubber off the end of the bat. Bare hand, pick up your target. Strong throw, gets him by a foot.
Pedro's got a different glove today. He went with that colored glove last night. He used 3 different gloves in the game last night. After Garrett Cole's throw to first base broke the webbing in one. Then he had one temporarily that belonged to Sean Rodriguez, and then the glove doctor, Sean Rodriguez, went to work in the dugout. But Pedro going with another today.
Well, my guess is that's his backup. When the gamer went down and you get it fixed, it just isn't broken in right yet. You got to get some work on it.
To left field, after it Marte, and he will make the grab. And the Reds go quietly in the first. 1-2-3 on to the second inning at Great American Ballpark. Sunday, when the Pirates host the Dodgers in prime time starting at 8:08. All kids 14 and under receive a Garrett Cole and Gregory Polanco Cup. Compliments of Sheets and Coca-Cola. Don't miss the electric atmosphere at PNC Park next Sunday. Get your tickets now at Pirates.com. Seen a lot of black and gold around town this weekend. A lot of folks making their way over from Pittsburgh. No score, top of the second inning on the UPMC scoreboard.
Yeah, I'm sure the home folks were hoping for a series win, maybe a sweep. Now they have to settle for a split. Hopefully the Bucks can pull this one out.
First ball swinging. Jung Ho pops it up. Todd Frazier waits for it to come down in foul territory, and that's a quick out. Not the at bat Jung Ho wanted, certainly. One down for the Pirates in the second inning. Neil Walker will now face Kivas Sampson.
And Neil take his time, get up there, take till he gets a strike.
Walker hitting .272, 9 home runs. Sampson winds and the pitch. Outside ball 1. This is the ballpark where Walker made his big league debut September 1st, 2009. Two balls and no strikes.
Sampson, no, I mean, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say Brandon Phillips was the guy who took Neil's first hit away from him. He looked like he had a base hit to right. Big league debut, and Phillips came up with a Gold Glove play.
Yeah, scorcher, one hopper to his left. Sampson, one pitch, one out, and then throws a ball well off the plate away first pitch, then goes to a breaking ball second pitch. And had that free strike, didn't take advantage. Now Walker ahead in the count.
Count is even 2-2. Walker ended up with 2 hits last night, 2 for 4, and scored a run, including one in the 9th inning. He had a base hit off of Aroldis Chapman. He wants time and gets it. Walker came around to score on the hit by Cervelli. Way up and away. 3-2.
They almost have to be looking fastball here.
Three ball, 2 strike pitch.
Pretty good location with the fastball at 93 on the outside corner. And that's the one thing we'll look as we see more Sampson second, third time through. You know, just fastball, curveball. At times he's located the fastball well, like there on 3-2. And Neil just underneath it.
Three strikeouts now for Sampson. 2 outs and Francisco Cervelli. Strike 1 to Cervelli. Average up over 301 after his 9th inning single last night. Kept that inning alive. You just had the feeling last night. You know, you get the feeling once in a while that things are going to go the Pirates' way. They're going to get it done, and then just ended with a thud.
Yeah. You look at this series again. The Reds playing the Pirates tough. And Sampson maybe getting a call there. Cervelli says he thinks it's on the out. It's off the plate away. See what the WB Mason strike zone shows. Yep. A bit off. Really, look at this. Pirates pretty lucky to win one of the 3. You know, Marte's defense saved them.
To left field, right at Schumacher. 6 up and 6 down for the Pirates in the first inning and a half. Auction Tuesday when the Pirates host the Cubs. Tune in and help us raise money for Pirates charities and local ALS organizations by purchasing VIP bags packed with memorabilia or an opportunity to take part in a Pirates team ice bucket challenge. Pirates charities on Root Sports Auction Tuesday starting at 6. Visit pirates.com for more information. Make sure to take part. Get your VIP bags. You never know what you're going to get in them. They're always good. And it all goes to terrific causes. Jay Bruce will lead off against Charlie Morton to start the Reds' half of the second. Pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 to Bruce. Bruce had a pair of doubles in the game last night and then scored a huge insurance run in the 8th inning off of Joe Blanton. Proved to be the deciding run in the game after all. 4-3 was the final. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bruce.
Bruce unhappy with the call. Thought it was away. Big curveball from Charlie. Just a bit off.
And Charlie strikes him out.
I think it's always important for Charlie Morton when he's able to get ahead with the sinker. The curveball of his is pretty much unhittable. The league coming into the game today is hitting just 130 against this curveball. And there you see it. Looks like it's in the zone. Looks like it's in the zone. And by the time Bruce commits, it's just about in the dirt.
Charlie had a quick inning in the first of 6 pitches. Starts the second with a strikeout. Now facing Marlon Byrd, who's been hot for the Reds. Bird's average 252.
Seeing the ball well, putting good swings on it. I would think that Charlie will try to work him away. Although that sinker in.
Joe Blanton relaxing right now, but he made his Pirates debut last night in the 7th and 8th inning. And in the 8th inning, after Bruce's double, plunked Marlon Byrd. Byrd was not too happy about it. Took his time getting down to first. Needed an escort from Rob Drake, the home plate umpire, for part of the way down the baseline. Blanton got him in the upper part of the left shoulder. 1-2, and Byrd is out on strikes. He heads down to first base. 2-3 completes the strikeout. And there are 2 men gone for Cincinnati.
Another nasty breaking ball from Charlie Morton. Good block by Francisco Cervelli.
Well, Charlie pretty familiar with his ballpark, pretty familiar with the Reds in general. This is his 17th career start against Cincinnati. It's 5-7 against them. 0-1 this year in 2 starts. But here at Great American Ballpark, over his last 6 starts, he's 3-0. An ERA of 2.70. Switch hitting catcher Tucker Barnhart with a 1-0 count. And a strike call.
3 career complete games for Charlie Morton. 2 of them coming here, which is pretty remarkable given how small this park is. Charlie, it looked like a changeup.
One-two pitch. Strike 3.
Well, that was a dandy. That 2-seamer started right at that elbow and runs over the inside edge.
Morton strikes out the side.
to you by the Chevy Trax and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're gonna make your day. Let's go Bucks!
Here's our Day Automotive this day in Pirates history. This date, 1970, the Bucks beat the Braves 10-7. Bob Robertson hit 2 home runs and drove in 6 to lead the way as 5 Bucks had multiple hit games. Doc Ellis went 7 innings for his 11th win. For the Braves, Hank Aaron went 2 for 4 with a home run and 4 runs batted in. No score here, top of the 3rd inning. It's been 6 up and 6 down for each side. Charlie Morton punching out the side in the 2nd inning. He's got his 2-seamer going and his curveball going early.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive right there, throwing it right where he wanted to for the most part.
Pedro Alvarez, first plate appearance this afternoon. Went 0 for 3 with a walk last night and an RBI base hit Friday and hit a home run on Thursday night. Nothing in 1 to Pedro. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. When you talk about facing a new pitcher, Rock, what are the things you're looking for? Release point, arm slot, again, a guy you're not familiar with?
You're always going to pretty much, most pitchers throw from the same arm slot, I would say, within a couple inches. You want to see as many pitches early as you can. You want to see the tilt on the breaking ball, the movement on the fastball. He's breaking out the changeup here to Pedro, the first 2 changeups he's thrown so far this game.
And did he go? No, says Rob Drake down at 3rd.
And Pedro, the only hitter that didn't see the fastball. 2 curveballs, 2 changeups. But yeah, you just want to see as many pitches as you can, especially early on when there's nobody on base, because you get that 2nd or 3rd at bat, you have runners on base. You don't want to be surprised in an RBI situation.
Strikeout number 4 for Sampson. Pedro does not agree with DJ Rayburn on that. First baseman is called out on strikes here.
Now look at the strike zone. You see that one in the first pitch curveball, the only 2 in the strike zone. Again, I think that's more difficult as a hitter when you're up there and you see curveball, changeup, curveball. You haven't seen the fastball yet, and he throws it up there. You just get locked up.
Strike 1 to Rodriguez. Now to 3rd, that's past Frazier and toward the left field corner. Rodriguez around first, and he is into 2nd base with a 1-out double. First hit of the afternoon for either team, and the 5th double of the season for Sean Rodriguez.
The first big league hit allowed by Sampson. Curveball, leaves it up inside corner. Rodriguez able to keep it fair past Frazier. So Sampson will see him for the first time out of the stretch.
Charlie Morton at the plate now, and Charlie's going to swing away, or at least give the appearance as though he's doing that.
We see this a lot with a runner on 2nd, 1 out. No sense sacrificing. Let the pitcher swing the bat.
1 ball, 1 strike. Charlie 1 for 15 on the season. Chance to help himself here. Get the barrel on it. Get it out of the infield. Charlie taking, and that's strike 2.
Sampson gets a call. That pitch down below the knees. We've seen a couple of those already this afternoon.
Strikes goes Mort. Well, you wonder why he lays off strike 2. Well, when you see the strike zone grid, you know why.
Yep.
Another strikeout for Kivas Sampson. That is 5 for him.
It didn't cost the Reds anything to get Sampson. He was picked up off waivers by the Padres in January. Command has been an issue for him at times down in the minor leagues. He's walked as many as 5 3 times. He's walked 4 in a game 3 more times. But it's had a little help from the home plate umpire, but for the most part right around the strike zone.
Second time around the order now as Polanco's back up. He struck out swinging in the first. Ball 1. Gregory's done a real good job from the top of the order. Since Josh Harrison went down, other guys have stepped up. Harrison had been doing a good job in the leadoff spot too. Polanco has been getting on base, which is what you're supposed to do as the table setter. Also come up with some very big hits late in ball games. Some good at bats. You know, you think in that National Series, John, that 12-pitch at bat he had against Scherzer.
Yeah. That was maybe the bat of the year.
2-0. Outside 3-0. Gregory way ahead in the count. Starling Marte 0 for 1 today. Sean Rodriguez out at second base following his 1-out double. 3-0 pitch to Polanco from Sampson. Walked him. That's that command issue you were talking about.
Unless they, with first base open, they didn't want to face Polanco and would rather face Starling Marte. It almost looked like that when you throw a 2-0 changeup and a fastball 3-0 missing that badly. Well, who knows? We'll see. If he gets back into the zone against Marte, if that, you know, in my opinion, if he comes in here with first pitch strike 1, throws it where he wants to, that leads me to believe it. He didn't want any part of Polanco.
Ball 1 to Marte. Starling has more hits than any other National League left fielder with 93. And he drives one into left center field. A base hit. Rodriguez will come around and score. Polanco goes first to third. They're going to wave home Polanco. Here comes the throw from Phillips. Gregory slides. He's safe. Scoring all the way from first base is Polanco. And the Pirates lead it 2-0.
And that's why you don't pitch around Polanco to get to Marte. Marte's been driving in runs all year long. His 55th and 56th RBI of the year. Goes with a fastball right down the middle. Marte, fastballs down the middle, get crushed. Bird gets out there, slides, tries to get it in as quickly as he can, misses the first cutoff man, Suarez. Phillips with the relay home, but Polanco, his speed, scores easily.
Well, the Bucks strike first this afternoon, and Andrew McCutchen takes inside. He's got another buck on the pond at second base, and Marte. McCutchen struck out swinging in the first. So second time around the order, Marte picks up a double number 19. Two balls, no strikes to McCutchen.
Hard to say, even if Bird's able to hit Suarez, the first cutoff man. I don't think they have enough time to get Polanco.
That's held up on that. Didn't pull the trigger on the 2-0 pitch. Now it's 2-1.
Big difference, the Reds with Bird in center field instead of Hamilton. Hamilton gets to that ball quicker, has a stronger throwing arm, gets it in quicker. Probably only score one if Hamilton's in center.
Another strike to McCutchen. Well, DJ Rayburn is calling the low strike and then some today.
Well, those two
right there.
Yeah, both on the corner.
Yep.
Sitting up inside. And missed in the inside corner, but kept it down around the knees.
Marte leading from second base, 2 men out, 2 balls and 2 strikes to McCutchen. Double by Rodriguez, a walk to Polanco, then a double by Marte. Sampson ready to go. Here's his pitch. Fouled off again. Sampson out of Ocala, Florida. Had a scholarship to Florida State waiting to go, but he ended up signing with the Padres for a $600,000 bonus instead. 4th round pick by the Padres in 2009.
Challenging McCutchen, all fastballs. 6 straight fastballs to Andrew.
This time he pulls the breaking ball way out of play.
That almost ended up behind him. Andrew a little late on a couple of those fastballs. Decided he better get it started a little sooner.
The 8th pitch of the at bat. The 2-2. The Pirate dugout scatters a few of his teammates.
And he hung a curveball there to Andrew, but when you attack with the fastball the way he did, it gets in the hitter's mind. Got to speed up a bit, and then you get away with the hanging breaking ball.
25 pitches this inning for Kivas Sampson. That is half of his pitches in the game so far. 3-2. Catch gets on, you get Jung Ho on deck. The way he's been swinging the bat, get like chances with 2 men on base. Sampson's payoff pitch to McCutchen. Ground ball left side, backhanded and dropped by Suarez. An error by Eugenio Suarez, and McCutchen is aboard with 2 down.
Hopper to his right. That's a pretty easy catch and throw. Just maybe alligator armed it a little bit, didn't extend. Marte, I'm thinking, held on at second base, thinking he didn't want to give Suarez an easy throw to third. And so he started retreating. And by the time it got by him, he figured he better stay right there.
Pitching coach Jeff Pico out to visit with Kivas Sampson. Sampson had a tough time in his teens. He found himself in some trouble with the law, he and his friends, and just said that he had been hanging out with the wrong crowd. A few years later, lost his mom to a heart attack. He blamed himself, saying that it was the stress that he put on her.
That would be hard to live with.
That would be. Jung Ho with a swing and a miss. Clint had some interesting things to say about Jung Ho today before the game. Said this guy was born to hit. That's what I believe, and that's what he believes. Goes up there with a plan. He's stubborn with his plan, and his plan has paid dividends for him. Sometimes you'll see him take a swing like he didn't know where the pitch was, but other times he's absolutely locked in. And they were concerned about his leg kick when they started to watch him in spring training, the big high leg kick he has. But now they're convinced he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
There's a ground ball. That is a diving stop by Suarez. What a play. That ends the inning. Pirates get 2 runs. They leave 2 men. 2-0 after 2.5. Pitcher Nate Adcock, former Pirates farmhand, on the disabled list after it was discovered he had a full tear in the ulnar collateral ligament and would require Tommy John surgery. He's expected to be out until late next season. This season he pitched just 18 innings and 13 appearances out of the Reds' pen. 2-0 Pirates, bottom of the 3rd inning. Suarez the batter. Charlie delivers a strike. Eugenio Suarez drove in a career-high 3 runs last night, 2 sacrifice flies and a double. His bat proved to be the difference in the game, and the last run he drove in was in the 8th. That was the game winner. Two balls and a strike to Suarez. Garrett Cole, tough luck loss last night. Had a play in center field, the indecision by McCutchen on the 1 ball that turned into a bird triple. Pass ball by Stewart, and then a play at first base by Alvarez that he didn't make, and that ended up into 2 earned runs, 3 total. 5 innings. Here's something interesting about Cole, John. He has gone 6 innings or more against everybody else except the Reds. 4 times against the Reds he's pitched 5 innings or fewer. And Walker and Alvarez bump into one another, and Alvarez ends up making the catch.
Normally that would be right to the second baseman, Neil Walker, but he was playing Suarez way up the middle. Still got the reverse somersault skills, does Neil?
Yeah.
Watch it. Watch the form.
Yeah, look at that.
Tuck it.
Tumbling class helps. That's good. One out for the first baseman of Anda Jesus Jr. So former Pirate farmhand at one point.
What you were saying about with Garrett Cole. Yeah, it's kind of strange how that's worked with him against the Reds. And they made him work for everything last night. Saw a lot of pitches, got his pitch count up, got him out of there after 5. But still, it could have been a different story with better defense.
A.J. Burnett there. He's on the disabled list for the next couple of weeks. And the first hit off of Charlie Morton this afternoon comes off the bat of DeJesus. An opposite field single. 1 out and 1 on for Cincinnati in the bottom of the 3rd.
Well, just goes with the 2-seamer. The inside out swing. Charlie wants you to try to pull that pitch. Get a weak tapper to the left side, but pretty good swing to Jesus staying inside.
Now Sampson in his first major league plate appearance takes strike 1. Nothing in 1 to Sampson, who'll try to bunt a man over. Strike 2, left it out there and offered. Point Park University tweets reacting to the 2-run double by Starling Marte. 0-2 pitch to Sampson will wait. Charlie throws to first instead. DeJesus gets back. Charlie's 0-2 to Sampson. He bunts it foul and strikes out. 4th strikeout for Charlie Morton. And there are 2 down for Cincinnati. Sampson's first major league at bat in the books, and it didn't go very well.
I gotta imagine some nerves with a bat and helmet on. Facing a guy like Morton, his fastball moves so much. That poor execution. Charlie will take it. Hopefully another quick 3rd.
Brandon Phillips grounded out to Neil Walker in the first inning. 1 on, 2 down for Cincinnati. Ball 1 to Phillips. You always think of Phillips with the Indians when Giles made that great catch in left field at PNC Park. That was off of Brandon Phillips.
Yeah.
Saw the video of that again the other day. It reminded me. Most people think of Phillips as a Red, but before he was a Red, he played in Cleveland.
Tell you what, Brian Giles was one heck of a player. You know, his name doesn't come up very often anymore, but you see what he did offensively and defensively for the Pirates. It was a pretty impressive run.
Cervelli holding it there. It's called ball 3.
And Charlie Morton and Kivas Sampson are getting the pitch down and out of the zone. Top of the zone,
nothing.
Not so much.
And he's thrown 2 strikes. They've both been called balls. And it's 3-0 as a result. And Neil Walker's not going to get that one. That's a base hit for Phillips. Second hit of the inning for Cincinnati. Runners at first and second.
No surprise, Brandon Phillips swinging 3-0. Gets fastball down the middle. Puts a good swing on it. If that's right at Walker, he probably can jump and make the catch, but he had to go to his left. Couldn't get off the ground.
Skip Schumacher hit a little dribbler to the third base side that Charlie Morton fielded and threw him out. 0 for 1. Pitch outside to Schumacher, ball 1. Schumacher's turned into a big plus for the Reds off the bench. One of the better pinch hitters in baseball. Getting a start here today with Hamilton the day off. Ground ball softly hit to short. For the Reds, no runs, 2 hits, and they'll leave 2. We'll head to the 4th inning in Cincinnati. A 2-0 Pirate lead.
Out with the Princeton High School class of 2005 celebrating their 10-year reunion this weekend. Why am I mentioning that? That is Josh Harrison's high school. A bunch of his high school classmates hanging out here at the ball game. They made an entire weekend out of it, and Josh was able to hang out. They had to get together Friday night with all their friends and families and everybody else. This is Lauren Howard right here, one of Josh's classmates since high school. What are your memories from Josh Harrison from when he was a little bitty boy?
Well, Josh Harrison is still the same person he is today. How he was in kindergarten is what we saw on Friday night when he came out with his wife, and he was just so humble and so sweet, and so it was really good to see him.
Erica organized the whole thing. What's it like being able to bring everybody together and have somebody like Josh have it on a weekend? This is by coincidence. You didn't plan it around Josh, but to have him here.
Such an amazing opportunity, and just so glad to see that Josh was here to join us on Friday. It was just such a great opportunity. It was great. It was great.
We have we have a vintage photo of Josh Harrison we're going to show to you in a second. Tim?
Neil Walker drives this one deep to right center, and it is off the top of the wall. And rolling away from the outfielders, Walker's still running. He'll be held at third with a stand-up triple to lead off the inning.
Neil Walker getting a hold of one. Looked like maybe there was a hand involved there. Maybe somebody reaching out for that ball. Just missing a home run by maybe a foot.
Pirates are going to want to have the umpires look at this. Clint's coming out to talk to the home plate ump. Might have hit that fan's glove. Let's see. Ooh. Did it hit the railing or his glove?
That may make sense if it hit the rail. I mean, I don't know. How does the ball bounce that far back towards the infield without it hitting something other than a padded wall?
That's probably a home run, Rock.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm not writing anything down yet because I have to think that that ball's not going to kick off the wall like that if that's hitting padding. Yeah, that's off that railing.
That is off the railing. It's over the yellow line, so Pirates are going to get a run out of this. And this is not a manager's challenge. This will end up being a crew chief's review. So Joe West will call for Clint Hurdle to come out of the dugout here. Don't see them getting the headsets for him yet. But that ball definitely hit the railing. You could see it. It hit over the yellow line.
I'm trying to figure out what they are discussing.
And now they apparently are going to go look at it. They're going to go communicate with New York. New York will look at it.
Yeah, that's a no-doubter. Yokin had to run too hard for a homer. From home to third. Could have jogged around the bases. We'll get the jog home from third.
Yeah, the ground rules for Great American Ballpark clearly state a ball batted in flight, or a batted ball in flight, going over horizontal yellow line on top of outfield fence, home run. Gentleman there, the one on the left, was the closest to it. I don't know that his glove touched it. I think it hit all railing.
Yeah, I don't think he touched it either.
And he is trying to root for the home team there, but we have video evidence that would indicate that ball did not hit the yellow. Kerwin Danley and Joe West on the crew chief review. It is a home run. Like we thought, Neil Walker. Home run number 10, and the Pirates now lead it 3-0. So Walker with a leadoff homer to start the fourth.
I love the instant offense. Gets up there, wastes no time. Sampson, fastball down in the zone, gets extended, and just enough.
That gentleman's disappointed. He lobbied for a triple. Thing is, if he catches it, it makes the answer pretty easy.
Yep.
As to what the call would have been. If he had caught that ball, there's no doubt Kerwin Danley would have immediately waved his finger around in the air for a home run. Cervelli fouls this one off. 1 ball and 1 strike to Francisco. Kivas Sampson. The pitch and a ground ball to third. Cervelli is out. 5-3.
Sampson not used to giving up the long ball. 82 2/3 innings in the minor leagues this year. He only allowed 3. And that wasn't really bad location. Down around the knees.
See what Pedro can do here. Struck out looking in the third. 0 for 1 today. And a strike to Alvarez. Oh, 1 pitch. That's inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. One now to Pedro. Fouled off. Ball and 2 strikes. Bucks return home right after this game. And tomorrow night, open a 3-game set with the Cubs. Cubs are still battling. It should be a great series. Want to come out to PNC Park.
What a great homestand, really. Cubs and the Dodgers.
Two pitch. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Pedro. And let's go back downstairs to Robbie.
Well, let's finish up what I was saying before. Neil Walker had to rudely interrupt us by hitting that reviewable home run. Josh Harrison, class of 2005, Princeton Vikings. What a great photo we have. His high school graduation picture. Special thanks to Benita, Josh's mom, for sending us that photo and allowing us to use it here to show the masses. And it's really not surprising, talking to Josh's classmates, Tim and John, when you hear them say he is no different than he was in high school, because in our dealings with him on a professional level, nothing has changed about Josh Harrison from day one until now.
Well, I don't know.
Well, except for the beard.
Yeah.
The beard. He looks the same, I think, except for the beard.
Other than the beard. But the same guy, though. I mean, what a pleasant kid. Happy-go-lucky. I guess I shouldn't call him a kid. But one of the best. Good teammate. Great baseball player. Can't wait to get him back.
In the air to center. Lining it up as Marlon Byrd. Pirates get a run on the home run by Neil Walker. And after 3.5, it's 3-0. Weekend series against the Dodgers. First 20,000 get a T-shirt designed by Kutch. Thanks to Mrs. T's Pierogies. Join the Barrel Automotive Block Party on Federal Street before the game and enjoy live music, food, beverages, games, and you can also stop by the Lion Kugel Bar. For tickets, pirates.com/free shirt Friday. Neil Walker with a crew chief review home run. Initially called a triple. Then on further review, crew chief Joe West got the word from New York. They saw pretty plainly, like everybody else did, after seeing it on tape, that that ball hit that little railing above the 370 marker in right center field and bounced back onto the field of play. But your point's right, Rock. If it hits that yellow line and bounces back, it doesn't bounce and roll the way that it did.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
McCutchen underneath this one, and he'll make the catch, and Frazier is out to start the Reds' fourth.
Well, Frazier is still struggling at the plate. In his career prior to today, he had pretty good numbers against Morton. But 2 easy outs for Charlie against Todd Frazier.
Point Park University tweets at the bottom of the screen, reacting to the hometown homer for the Pittsburgh kid. One ball, no strikes to Jay Bruce. Bruce struck out swinging in the second. Had to be a little less fun, you know, because you had to leg it out to third base instead of the Cadillac trot the whole way. Had to hurry up and wait. Two and one. There's just a few of those railings on the right side of the outfield and on the left side. And there are some in foul ground down the left side of the ballpark. Just an interesting note on the ground rules here. If a fair ball goes down the line and hits one of those bars and foul ground, it stays in play. You've got to field it no matter where it bounces. Bruce down on strikes for the second time. Charlie with 5 strikeouts. We want to see your strongest fan photos now. Use the hashtag #PittDataStrongFan. And you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Again, the hashtag #PittDataStrongFan. Seeing some strong photos. Want to see your strongest fan photos later in the telecast today. We'll show them to you.
Just a bit outside.
Okay, Harry Doyle.
I think that if a left-handed batter was up there, that may have went behind him. That almost looked like it almost landed outside the left-handed batter's box, the curveball.
Bird chops it foul, and it's a 1-1 count.
He's had the good curveball working so far this afternoon. Being ahead with that sinker.
On the corner for a strike. Bird behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
And they got ahead with Bird last time up. Finished him off with the curveball. See if he does it again.
Ground ball to third. Rodriguez one-hands it, throws on the run. And a 1-2-3 inning. Charlie has now retired the side in order in 3 of the first 4.
Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network. Health for all. By Kenny Ross. Just ask a neighbor. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier of the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
3-0 lead for the Pirates. Top of the 5th. Gorgeous sunny day here today in Cincinnati. The weather this entire weekend, this entire 4-day series has been perfect. Great summer weather here, not too humid. Mid to upper 80s. And the folks in Cincinnati certainly enjoy it. They've had their share of rain, as have we in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
One ball, one strike.
The next couple of days supposed to be warm, but then I think it's going to cool off. We're going to have that nice weather through most of the homestand.
That'd be great.
I think 70s. I think
really?
I saw, yeah, late in the week.
Charlie pops this one foul, first base side, and DeJesus will run out of room. Charlie bounced it in the camera well. Other than every day, how often do you check the weather?
Way more than once a day. Yeah, I'm on it all the time.
Liriano will pitch tomorrow night opposite John Lester of the Cubs. Morton to right field. Bruce drifting over toward the line. Puts it away for out number 1 in the Pirates' half of the 5th inning. Pirates and Coca-Cola have teamed up to share a Coke with fans. Select tickets purchased from now until 11:59 tonight. The Pirates will add $5 loaded value onto your ticket. Good for the purchase of a Coca-Cola product at PNC Park. The offer is valid for any of the 3 games against the Cubs, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday at PNC Park. Get your tickets right now at pirates.com/Coca-Cola. Crew Chief Joe West working today at first base. Started the series Thursday behind the plate. 4 umpires have made their full rotation during this series. Third time up for Gregory Polanco. He walked and scored in the second, struck out back in the first. Takes a strike. Well, even though Kiva Sampson has struck out 6, Pirates have still managed 3 runs on him. 3 extra base hits. Double by Rodriguez, a double by Marte that produced 2 runs, and a home run by Walker. Popped up right center. Bruce calls off Phillips. 2 down.
Some adjustments made. 5 of those 6 strikeouts coming the first time through the lineup. Just 1 for 9 first time through, 2 for 8 second time through, and just the 1 strikeout. See if we do some more damage. Third at bat. Biggest hit of the game so far, Marte, a 2-run double in the third.
Well, he has certainly found ways to contribute during the course of this series, both with the bat and the glove and the arm. Strike 2.
And Sampson making an adjustment. The first changeup he's thrown to a right-handed batter.
Trying to get Marte to chase with 2 strikes on him. Starling didn't bother there. So it's 1-2. In the air to left field, Schumacher will make the catch. And the Pirates hit 3 fly balls and go down in order. This season, Mark Melanson encourages young athletes to lead a healthy and active lifestyle, and there's much more on Inside Pirates Baseball, presented by Allegheny Health Network, today after postgame on Root Sports. Along with Robbie Inchmakowski and John Wayner, I'm Tim Neverett. 3-0 Pirates, bottom of the 5th on the UPMC scoreboard. And this one is ripped by Barnhart into right field. Polanco on the run. He makes the catch. Terrific catch by Gregory Polanco, retiring Tucker Barnhart.
That looked like that was a gapper for sure off the bat. Thinking maybe it might get to the wall, but Gregory Polanco, full stride, good angle, makes it look routine.
There is Hall of Fame broadcaster Marty Brenneman, Cincinnati Reds. I was thinking about this today, John. He was calling the games during the Red Machine days here in the mid-70s. Still doing it. And the bouncer nearly caught Rodriguez on the in-between hop. He recovers nicely and throws out Eugenio Suarez.
Boy, that's a heck of a play right there. You get that two-hopper, you're thinking, let's shorten that hop up, go get it. He realized he didn't have time, had to reverse a half step. And he's as smooth as they get, anywhere in the infield.
Joe Nuxall in the middle. He was here for so long. See Jim Kelch doing radio with Marty today. He's on the right. The other announcer that has the black, Wade Hoyt. Long history of baseball here in Cincinnati.
Bob Walk there on the left.
Bob has a long history in baseball, not in Cincinnati.
Yep. Greg Brown.
Same with Greg. They started the same year with the Pirates as broadcasters.
That big black thing there in the middle.
How about De Jesus with his second hit to right field?
Yep. Both times going that way. Yeah, right under Bob there, that big black thing. I think that's where they keep track of all the StatCast, like the velocities off the bat and all the things they do nowadays.
That big square thing right next to the Brenneman plaque. Had a foul ball hit that the other night when we were in the radio booth.
Yeah.
Kyle Waldrop will pinch hit for the pitcher Sampson. Waldrop called up a couple of days ago. This is his first plate appearance against the Pirates. He was called up just prior to the game on Friday from Louisville. And he wears number 44, which until Thursday night belonged to Mike Leake, who's now a San Francisco Giant and will debut for the Giants against the Rangers today. Villarreal in the bullpen warming up. So the 0-2. And Waldrop goes down swinging. Another strikeout for Charlie. Reds leave a man heading to the 6th. 3-0 Bucks. Story of my life. Now that's Social Distortion. They'll be at Stage AE. August 21st. Pirates with a 3-0 lead as we start the 6th inning at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Andrew McCutchen will lead off against the new pitcher, Pedro Villarreal. Takes over for Kivas Sampson, who went 5. In his starting debut in the big leagues. Second big league appearance. He made his major league debut Thursday night. 1 inning of relief against the Bucks, but 79 pitches today. 6 strikeouts over 5 innings.
Pretty good start for Sampson. Just the 3 hits. Unfortunately for him, 2 doubles and a walk all came in the same inning. His 16th appearance for Villarreal. 1-3, 4.15 ERA.
Up high for a ball. 1-2 to Kutch. For 2 this afternoon. Villarreal ready to go, and they 1-2 pitch. Pop fouling out of play. Kutch trying to tighten some things up at the plate. He has been swinging and missing at some good fastballs in recent days.
It's so unlike him, swinging through fastballs, and boy, Villarreal goes upstairs and gets him.
Kutch strikes out for the second time.
Gets him to chase a guy that doesn't get very many strikeouts. 92 up around the neck. It's just his 12th strikeout in 26 innings.
Jung Ho Kang. Ball 1 to him. He's 0 for 2 today. Batting in the cleanup spot. And you'd think the way that he's hitting here lately, and with what he did in Korea last year, the numbers he put up, very impressive. But for the most part, he batted 5th in the order for the next gen heroes. And Clint was discussing that with the press today. And Clint said, well, if he was hitting 5th, I'd like to see those 3-4 hitters.
Yeah.
Who was batting in front of him?
Well, they were getting on base, that's for sure.
Obviously.
For a guy that's had more RBIs than games played. That's the one benefit of batting 5th. I think as a 5th hitter, you're going to get more RBIs opportunities than even the 4th hitter.
Now 2-2. Pedro Villarreal in the stretch position and delivers 2-2. Inside 3-2. On 25th of June, a 13-inning 5-4 win against the Pirates at PNC Park. Villarreal through the last 2 innings got his first major league victory. Walker on deck, had a home run last time up. Popped up to right. Jay Bruce with the catch, and there are 2 down, and Jung Ho is 0 for 3. Neil Walker needed a little help from the replay operations center in New York to get his 10th home run of the year. Bang, off the railing. So he misses the fan's glove and goes off the corner of that green padded railing. Anything over the yellow line in fair territory is a home run here at Great American Ballpark. So Walker given the extra base after initially being ruled a stand-up triple. Home run number 10, RBI number 42. This one is popped up and playable for the shortstop Suarez. Second straight inning, the Pirates have gone in order. Heading to the bottom of the 6th in Cincinnati, 3-0 Pirates. Pitching last night. UPMC scoreboard says 3-0 Pirates with the lead. Bottom of inning number 6 and the top of the order up for Cincinnati. Charlie Morton, nice job so far today. He has retired the side in order. In 3 of the 5 innings he's pitched, he hasn't faced more than 5 in 1 inning. That was in the 3rd. Faced 4 last inning. So he'll face Brandon Phillips, Skip Schumacher, and Todd Frazier to start things off in the Cincinnati 6th.
Very efficient, too, in the zone. Pitching to contact.
And that there was just his 58th pitch of the game. Charlie's been pitching with a good rhythm this afternoon. Getting the ball from Cervelli, getting on the hill and throwing. And he's ahead of Phillips, 0-2. That's usually one of the indicators when you know Charlie is feeling really good on the hill, is when he just gets into that rhythm and takes over.
Yeah, picks up the sign and throws it. Not much in terms of overthinking. He and Cervelli working the game plan to perfection so far.
1-2, ground ball to second base, and Walker will throw out Phillips. Cervelli wanted that one on the outer half of the plate. That's right where it went. Phillips hit it to the right side. Nissan Road ahead tomorrow on the air at 6:30 here on Root Sports. Left-hander John Lester against lefty Francisco Liriano. Then Jake Arrieta against Jay Happ. Happ will make his Pirates debut Tuesday night. Wednesday night, Dan Herron, newly acquired by the Cubs, will oppose Jeff Locke. Liriano 7-6. His record, .292 the earned run average. He was looking forward to getting back on the hill. And another probable matchup for Friday night. Thursday's a day off, Rock, but Friday. How about this for must-see TV? Garrett Cole against Clayton Kershaw. The Dodgers come in for game 1.
That should be a dandy.
Garrett is preparing for that right now. 3-0. That's outside. Oh, in the corner. Beg your pardon. That's a strike. Schumacher 0 for 2. He's got himself a base hit to right. One out single for Schumacher. Todd Frazier due up now.
For that Dodger series, as it sits now, Pirates might miss Zach Greinke. I think he's penciled in to start Thursday.
Frazier is the Reds' leader in grounding into double plays. 12 times he's done it. Frazier did such a good job representing the Reds and the city of Cincinnati at the All-Star game. Kind of wore him out, though, because he was everywhere all the time. In the air to center field toward left center. McCutchen will gather it in. And back to first base goes Schumacher.
Got in on the hands a little bit on Frazier. Easy play for Andrew McCutchen. Two-seamer running in. Frazier knew right away it wasn't going anywhere.
Jay Bruce has struck out twice, swinging. Ground ball to Walker. And a nice tidy bottom of the 6th inning. Great work by Charlie Morton this afternoon. Heading to the 7th, up 3-0. Later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. I'm going to raise one up for Charlie Morton. His effort so far this afternoon through 6 innings. Charlie has allowed just 4 hits, no runs. He's been very, very efficient. He's had some relatively quick innings, too. Francisco Cervelli 0 for 2 today. He'll lead off against Villarreal.
You would think, just like hitters, they go to certain ballparks and they love hitting in that ballpark, whether it's because of the dimensions or the background or, could be any number of things. I think certain pitchers.
Well, that one is fielded by De Jesus, and Villarreal, who came off the mound initially to field it, just kept on running, got to first base, and he gets the putout. 1 out.
excuse me, swing. That's frustrating for a hitter. Good job by Reds pitcher. The Jesus probably would have made it a lot easier on everybody if he just would have stayed put and let Phillips make the play. But as I was saying, certain hitters just love hitting in certain ballparks, and I'm guessing that Charlie Morton just loves pitching here at Great American Ballpark.
His ERA over his last 6 starts here, 2.70. It's going to get lowered now with the effort today if this keeps up. High bouncer to first. Jesus handles it himself. 2 down. Pedro's 0 for 3. Nice crowd here this afternoon. Shy of a sellout. Last night there was a sellout here, better than 42,000. Well over 110,000 plus, maybe with whatever today would be. Probably think about 140,000 for this 4-game series.
At least, yeah. You know, a lot of folks have chosen not to stay in their seats, though. Baking, I'm sure, in the sun. Nice and toasty today.
And no cloud cover either to help out with the sun. Great blue skies over Cincinnati, Ohio, and Newport, Kentucky on the other side of the Ohio River.
What's odd is for this time of year, not much humidity. Humidity's been down, so quite pleasant, not real sticky. Although if you're sitting in the sun at 86 for a couple hours, I'm sure that could get to you a little bit.
One, two. I don't know if they do it here. I did notice this in Minnesota during the day game we had there prior to coming here, the day game Wednesday. I noticed the ushers handing out little packets of sunscreen to people.
Good idea.
I thought that was a nice thing. I think when you're heading out the door to the ball game, you're going down your checklist of what you're going to bring with you. You might not remember the sunscreen. A day like today, you need it. Rodriguez down on strikes. 3-0 Pirates, 7th inning stretch. as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Along with John Wayner and Robbie and Smokowski, Tim Everett here. 3 runs on 3 hits for the Pirates. No runs on 4 hits for the Reds. Charlie Morton through 6 innings has struck out 6. Neil Walker solo home run in the 4th. Provided a little bit of pad. And Kivas Sampson in his first major league start. 5 innings, 6 strikeouts. Pedro Flormon out at shortstop now for the Pirates. Sean Rodriguez moves from 3rd to 1st. And Jung Ho Gung from short to 3rd. Those are the defensive changes late in the ballgame as we get to the bottom of the 7th. And Morton will face Marlon Byrd to start this half inning.
Charlie Morton, 69 pitches through 6. So you'd think a lot left in the tank. Perhaps he's thinking of his 3rd career complete game here. Great American Ballpark.
Well, what's been good about Charlie's effort today, he has not allowed a Reds base runner into scoring position this afternoon. Nobody's been past first base. With the exception of Ivan De Jesus in the 3rd inning. He just moved over to 2nd. On a base hit by Phillips, but that's been it. That was the only threat they had with the 1 man at 2nd. Well, Marlon Byrd 0 for 2, hitting .251. First ball swinging, strike 1.
Yeah, the Pirates haven't been too busy on the bases either. Actually being out hit. All 3 hits, though extra base hits. Good timing.
Pirates with a pair of runs in the 3rd inning on a 2-run double by Starling Marte. Sean Rodriguez had a 1-out double to get on base, and also Gregory Polanco worked a walk that inning. And Neil Walker's solo homer in the 4th has accounted for the Pirates' offense. That home run was Walker's 101st hit of the season.
Had a good July. Working on a good August.
Whoa, right to Walker. That ball had some movement on it. And gets Byrd by a step, who was hustling down the line. That was a rocket.
A hooking line drive up the middle. That thing took off. It looked like it was started. Watch it. It's like almost like it starts at Walker's left. Look at that thing. Hook. I mean, I don't think it deflected off of Morton, but it looked like it did. That thing took a serious left turn off the bat of Byrd.
Oh, 1 to Barnhart. Right there for a called strike.
You don't see that very often. Ball hooking that much.
Hit him a slider.
Yeah.
Walker describing it. Stayed right with it, made the play. And Barnhart got a piece of it. Marlon Byrd 0 for 3 this afternoon. Where will Marlon Byrd be next year? That's the question. Will it be here in Cincinnati? Or will it be somewhere else? He has shown no signs of slowing down, no indications he wants to slow down, but he does have an option that would kick in here with a certain number of plate appearances.
My understanding, it's for significant dollars, and it's 550 plate appearances. And if he stays healthy and plays every day, he's going to reach that number. That's where you start wondering if, you know, they're playing days off. bat for Morton. It's lasted more than 6 pitches. This is the 8th to Barnhart.
Payoff pitch. We'll get another. Well, don't forget, you can still trade guys. They just have to clear waivers. You can put a guy on waivers, and if you want, you don't like the situation, you can pull him back. That's something that can happen during the month of August. Bullpen active. Jared Hughes is on the left. Antonio Bastardo on the right. And a bouncer toward the middle. Right there is Florimon. 2 out. Pedro Florimon with the infield assist. Follow the Pirates wherever you are with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet. Eugenio Suarez, 298 hitter. Today is 0 for 2. To the right center field gap. Polanco will chase it down as Suarez heads for second base. And he will stop there with a 2-out double. First extra base hit by the Reds.
And, you know, we got a shot at the bullpen, and as you'll see, the sinker. Outer third of the plate.
Nice looking swing. I think the more to have success against the Morton sinker, you kind of have to look to go the other way. Ray Search is going to go out and talk to Charlie Morton. And we saw a shot of our bullpen and saw Bastardo and Hughes here in the 7th inning. Makes you wonder if they were maybe just getting some work in. Figure with the way the bullpen's set up, Melanson closing, Watson, and newly acquired Soria, that you know, as you get this late in the game, you'd be seeing either Watson or Soria.
And Joey Votto is on deck. He would hit in the 9 spot after DeJesus. Charlie would love to retire DeJesus here. Not have to face Votto with anybody on base. But DeJesus is 2 for 2. He's hit 2 line drives to right field. 3-0. Pirates lead it. 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning, and a strike call to DeJesus. So both Votto and Hamilton regular starters on the bench today for Cincinnati. Ball and 1 strike. Well, when your starter's in the 7th inning, and a relatively close game like it is here, and a 3-run lead, never safe in this ballpark. But this is a time where you really have to read your starting pitcher correctly and know when to make a move, right?
I'm sorry, Tim.
You were off doing something else?
Yes,
again?
I was off researching.
Okay.
Always.
I was saying, you have to know as a manager when to read your starting pitcher right in a game like this.
Oh, yeah.
3 runs in this ballpark.
Yeah, I would think that, you know, especially probably one of the toughest things to do, I think, as a manager, is knowing when your starter's, you know, maybe wearing down, or, you know, as Morton has been so great this afternoon and efficient and pounding the strike zone, keeping the ball down, a lot of weak contact, but getting late, obviously, and, you know, trying to choose the time to go get them.
Oh, good pitch there. Called a ball.
Tried to go away, left it in. UFC Sports Medicine Strike Zone will show you that it is just a little bit inside, not by much.
2-2 to DeJesus. Fouls it off. Devon DeJesus Jr. with Eugenio Suarez at second base. 2 men out. Charlie trying to work his way through this 7th inning. Got the first 2, Bird and Barnhart, on ground ball outs. Suarez a double. And the 2-2. Bouncer toward third, and Gunn's got it in foul ground. Still a 2-2 count. Pretty normal defense for the Pirates. Outfield fairly straight up. McCutcheon maybe a step or two toward right center. Polanco not too deep in right.
Big pitch.
Got him. Big strikeout for Charlie Morton. Reds leave a man as we head to the 8th inning. Charlie Morton had his stuff working today. 7 shutout innings, no walks, 7 strikeouts. He scattered 5 hits. Great work by Ground Chuck today. As we enter the 8th inning, his spot would lead off, so his day has come to a conclusion, and Jeff Decker will hit for him.
What a day for Charlie Morton. You hoped for 6 strong. He gave you 7 strong, and that curveball was outstanding. And Decker try to get aboard, give him an insurance run or 2 across here in the 8th.
2 balls, no strikes to Decker.
Talked about it. Morton hitting just 130 against that curveball. No hits against it this afternoon, so that'll go down even further.
2-0. 3 balls to no strikes. Three ball, no strike pitch. A 4-pitch walk drawn by Jeff Decker to start the 8th. Villarreal walks his first man. He had retired 6 in a row, striking out 2 since entering in the 6th. Now man aboard for Gregory Polanco, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. Polanco walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Swings and pops it foul over the third base dugout. Now, Frazier was playing him in on the grass in case he decided to bunt. Gregory took a full cut. Now you'll see Frazier with 1 strike moving back. You know from playing down there in that corner, when the guy takes a full rip, there's a chance it might get to you in an awful hurry.
Yeah, you don't worry about it as much with a left-handed batter. You don't get much action. Usually it's miss-hit when they hit a ball down your way. But if you're up there with a right-handed batter, like Marte would be scary because he bunts now and again, and if you had to play him in as hard as he can hit a ball, wouldn't want to be playing even with the bagger any further in. Like to stay back with him. But with a left-handed batter up, you don't see much action. And times as a third baseman, you get caught off guard maybe a little bit when a lefty hits the ball down there at you. But even with Polanco with 2 strikes, the bunt threat is gone. But you don't want to play too deep because if he hits it to you, a lot of times it might be off the end of the bat, might be slowly hit. So you still want to be in a position where you can come in and throw him out.
Villarreal called upon for multiple innings from his manager Brian Price today. Starting his 3rd inning of work. Pop straight up. Barnhart will make the catch. Polanco 0 for 3. Now Tony Watson throwing. Bastardo and Hughes have taken a seat each.
And seeing those 2 guys up in the 7th, I'm guessing Soria had a outing the other night, Friday night, threw a bunch of pitches, so probably shut down today. Tony Watson used to pitching the 8th. And the Bucks are ahead.
1 on, 1 out. Marte awaits the first pitch. Takes a strike. Get some options in that bullpen, certainly. Really have the opportunity to shorten the game now, even more so than before, with the addition of Soria. Bastardo is there. Blanton, of course, a long man. Caminero, a 2nd straight really good outing. There is Soria. Seems like Caminero made a couple of adjustments recently.
Yeah,
it's helped him out.
Backing off a little as well.
Throw back to first base, and Decker just gets back.
We talked about it a little bit last night, I think, with Caminero. We didn't see the triple digits, but still the high 90s with good location as Decker shuffling off. Quickly back, just ahead of the tag.
So Decker off first, Marte behind in the count, 0-2. Now it's 1-2. Certainly Archimedes enjoying his season thus far. It's been a tough go with him with the Marlins organization, mostly in the minor leagues. A little bouncer out toward the mound, and Marte is out. And Decker safely at second base with 2 men gone for Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen will have an RBI opportunity. Marte now 1 for 4 with 2 runs batted in today. I remember all the talk about Marte's defense 2 games ago and what he did at the end of the game. Don't forget, he drove in the game-winning run in that game also.
I wasn't real happy with that at bat as got jammed. A little dribbler.
And McCutchen's plunked. And some interest, I guess, to say the least, from the Pirate dugout as some of the personnel down there went a lot closer to the front railing once McCutchen was plunked by that Villarreal pitch. Not sure what that was about.
That was about Marlon Byrd in last night's game. And that is pretty obvious.
Hit nearly in the same spot, wasn't he?
Pretty close. And, in the middle of the back. Had a lot of opportunity. He had opportunity last night. He had opportunity the first 7 innings of this game.
It's the 60th time a Pirates batter's been hit by a pitch this year, more than anybody in baseball. A pitch up and in right under the chin of Jung Ho.
He certainly didn't make it look like an accident. That's for sure.
Ball, 1 strike. Came up high. That's not well thought of. First and second and 2 men out. Jung Ho pops this one up. Brandon Phillips will settle under it. Still backpedaling, makes the catch. Nothing across, no hits, and 2 left. Tony Watson will come on at the bottom of the 8th. Off the left shoulder. Marlin had to get an escort partway down the first baseline. He was upset. Andrew McCutchen just this last inning. He took one up high as well. Presumably in retaliation for the Bird play last night. Well, the Pirates ended up scoreless in the top half of the 8th inning. McCutchen, the 60th Pirate to be hit by a pitch. And Tony Watson facing a pinch hitter, Jason Bourgeois. Delivers strike 1.
Pretty good numbers again for Tony.
Pirates come back here to Cincinnati September 7th, 8th, and 9th. That'll be the next time they see the Reds, so certainly McCutchen making a mental note of that. Pirates actually finished the season against the Reds at home. There's a ball hit right at Rodriguez. The soft liner hauled in for out number 1.
Doesn't get much easier than that. A little cue shot.
Brandon Phillips, top of the order. He is 1 for 3. Singled in the 3rd inning. Grounded out to Walker twice. .279 the average for Brandon Phillips. And Phillips is hit. And now home plate umpire DJ Rayburn wants to do something here. And Phillips now wants to have a chat with Watson, and the benches are going to empty here in Cincinnati. And Marlon Byrd right in the middle of it right now. He and Charlie Morton were jawing. Now the bullpen's empty. And now that everybody's out there, Phillips gets pulled away. And this is getting ugly in the middle of the diamond. And we're going to see some ugliness here at Great American Ballpark. Todd Frazier going to be held back.
This is usually where the toughness comes out of the guys, when there's 10 or 20 people in between you. You start getting more and more talking. And Brandon Phillips is the one that's most upset, and had the opportunity when nobody was out there if he wanted to do anything.
Billy Hatcher, the first base coach, now in control of Phillips. Joey Votto having some words with somebody. As soon as you think they're going back to the benches, now they're going back at it in the middle of the field. Marlon Byrd still hot. Danley ordering the Reds to their dugout. I'm sure the Pirates are getting a similar order from another umpire. Nobody's in a hurry. Nobody wants to be the first to leave. Bird still upset. Sean Rodriguez approaching him. And now Rodriguez in an altercation. Votto in the middle of it.
So much of the screaming and hollering and the threats as you can take, and that's why Sean Rodriguez is so upset. These guys want to keep talking and yelling and forcing the issue, and I'm sure Sean was tired of hearing about it. You know, all the threats and everything else.
Clint restraining Rodriguez. Rodriguez and Marlon Byrd having a not-so-private conversation. Umpires, once they get the players back in control and in the dugouts and bullpens, we'll have to see if there was any ejections or not. Brandon Phillips hit by a Tony Watson pitch, and that sparked this melee. After Andrew McCutchen was hit in the 8th inning with 2 outs, he came to the plate, and Pedro Villarreal struck him. Marlon Byrd hit last night. Byrd seemed to be even much more upset than even Phillips himself.
Again, you know, the Reds are going to make the argument, well, we hit Byrd up high and so we had to retaliate. Well, you could have retaliated last night and then it would have been done, and the Pirates just take it and then you go to first and then it's over with. You get 1 for 1, but then when you mess around, you wait 9 innings, wait for the opportune time to hit the Pirates MVP, the face of the team, you wait to hit him when it's a perfect time to do it with 2 outs and first base open. It's not the way it's handled, picking and choosing. And so the Pirates, in my mind, did it right. Next inning. Just to make sure, hey, it's not okay. You're just not going to pick your chance to hit McCutchen in the back. The Reds could have cleared this all up, and this could have been all voided in last night's game.
Sean Rodriguez with Clint Hurdle. Clint Hurdle went over and talked to him about something. And not sure if he's going to be able to continue this afternoon. It doesn't appear so, as Travis Ishikawa is now occupying the first base position. So it appears as though Sean Rodriguez has been ejected. We'll see about Marlon Byrd and Joey Votto. If they have both been ejected, Byrd in the game, you'd have to have Hamilton come out. And Votto would have been a key pinch hitter for them in either the bottom of this inning or the bottom of the 9th. So Rodriguez has been ejected. He will leave the ballpark. Votto's still in the dugout. But Byrd currently has left the dugout. This is what started it. Or it's what continued it. After Phillips wouldn't go down to first, bench is empty. And
Byrd, yeah, you could tell, was looking at somebody, looking for somebody. right away. And there you go. He's waiting for the bullpen guys to come in, and he gets right into Blanton's face.
Blanton's the one who hit him last night. So he was in search of Joe Blanton right off the hop. Things seemed to calm down for a bit, and then Francisco Cervelli and Todd Frazier. Schumacher, third man in. Phillips wanted to get in on that activity as well. Rodriguez face to face with Votto. And we understand Joey Votto has been ejected from this ball game. Rodriguez ejected. We know Votto is ejected. Bird did leave the dugout, so we'll get official word on that. But now with Votto being ejected, Rock, as I mentioned earlier, that takes a big potential pinch hitter out of the Reds lineup here late in the game.
Yes, it does.
Schumacher with 1 out and 1 on fouls it off as we continue with actual baseball here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Travis Ishikawa, the new first baseman for the Pirates. Joe West has to sort all of this out. He's probably thinking, oh boy, I got some paperwork to do. Country Joe West.
Boy, look at these pitches that Schumacher's swinging at. I mean, he's a guy that's on the dish as it is, and Tony Watson coming in off the plate on him. Somehow he's fouling these pitches off.
One ball and 2 strikes to Schumacher. Kutch hit by a pitch in the top of the 8th inning. Phillips here in the bottom. Outside for ball 2. Watson's 2-2 to Schumacher. Popped him up.
How Schumacher's making contact with these pitches he's swinging at. That pitch was way off the plate inside. Hard to do much with that.
2 men out. And Watson now will face Todd Frazier. Frazier hitting .269, 0 for 3. 3 flyouts to the outfield, 2 to center, 1 to left. And this one a long foul ball out of play to the right. Well, you've been in some of those bench clearing messes before.
Yeah, and that's usually how it goes. Everybody just comes out, there's a big scrum, and then everybody starts chirping. And, you know, they get tough and talk tough when there's 15 or 20 people in between. And that's why they escalate. That's why, you know, people don't ever get settled down.
We head to the 9th. Pirates up 3-0.
be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
It's now time for our Data Strong fan photo of the game, brought to you by T-Mobile. Let's see what we have today. Dan Doc 73. There's a picture of the statue of Pops. Pirates will be back in Pittsburgh a little after dinner time tonight. And PNC Park tomorrow to open a series against the Cubs. Going to wrap this one up here first. Pirates would like to get some insurance against a new Reds pitcher. 3-0 on just 3 hits. Jason Bourgeois stays in center field. Marlon Byrd indeed was ejected from the game. So Byrd out, Bourgeois stays in, and Jumbo Diaz in to pitch, taking over for Pedro Villarreal.
33rd appearance, 2-1, 5.52 ERA. 5 home runs allowed in 29 1/3 innings.
Brian Price has 2 position players left on the bench, Hamilton and Pena. Clint Hurdle. Now with Ramirez and Stewart, the only 2 position players left. Ishikawa had to come in for Rodriguez, who was ejected. Decker has pinch hit. And Flormont is a defensive replacement at short. Walker homered in the 4th. 1 for 3 today. Jumbo Diaz delivering the 1-1 pitch. Fouled back.
99 miles per hour. Pretty amazing to see a guy throw that hard, have an ERA over 5.5. I think hitters nowadays are used to the velocity. They're just used to seeing almost on a daily basis guys throwing over 95 miles per hour. It doesn't matter how hard you throw. Still have to locate.
Diaz pitched a 1/3 of an inning on Friday night. The Pirates 5-4 win. To the right side, taken by DeJesus, 1 out. 1 gone, top half of the 9th inning. After today, the Pirates return home and get ready for 3 against the Chicago Cubs. See the first of this 3-game series tomorrow, starting at 6:30 with Pirates pregame, presented by WB Mason on Root Sports. Left-handers John Lester and Francisco Liriano will face off tomorrow night. Francisco Cervelli involved in part 2 of the melee. It's a bouncer toward third. That's a foul ball.
There's so much said, so much going back and forth, and you can go up there and try. Some guys are peacemakers, some guys are protectors. They don't want the other team threatening. Who knows what all was said and what goes on during it all, but I honestly think that they were just tired of hearing it all. You know, in the case of Sean Rodriguez, Francisco Cervelli, obviously Bird goes after Blanton.
He hunted for Blanton.
Yep.
His head was on a swivel. As soon as he knew the bullpen's empty, he went looking straight for Joe. Garrett Cole got in the middle of it as well, trying to play peacemaker. Doesn't always work. You get in the middle of the pile. Pedro Alvarez tried to help Cervelli out when Frazier and Schumacher came after Cervelli. I think the next time the Pirates return, as we mentioned, making a mental note, September 7th, 8th, and 9th. That ought to make for an interesting get-together. And when the Reds return to PNC Park, October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Cervelli goes down on strikes or 2 away.
What I don't get, it's always targeting McCutchen, and that's the biggest issue. It used to be you get hit and then you hit the next guy up for the other team if you feel that there was intent. You don't wait and pick your spots and try to hit the biggest star on the team. And we've seen it so often over the last several years where teams have taken liberties, I think, with Andrew McCutchen. And I'm sorry, you have to protect Andrew McCutchen.
Brandon Phillips with a flair for the dramatic anyway, had he just gone down to first.
And that's what Andrew usually does. I mean, he takes it and he goes down to first, and doesn't mean he's not upset.
You can be upset about it, but if you stand out there and act like you want to fight, then you're putting your other teammates in danger too.
Well, if he wanted to fight, he would have ran after the pitcher. If he wanted to fight, you know. And that's the old days. That's what you saw all the time. You used to see, the hitter drop the bat and run out there. We haven't seen one of those in a long time. It doesn't happen much anymore. And those end up the same way. There's just a scrum. They get pulled apart, and then there's just talking back and forth.
Well, one comes to mind, the Nolan Ryan, Robin Ventura.
Yeah.
When Ventura Ryan put Ventura in a headlock, he kind of caught him coming out and gave him a bunch of uppercuts before anybody else could get there to rescue Ventura.
There was the big one not too long ago with Zach Greinke and Carlos Quentin.
Yeah.
And Greinke tried to take him head on. Didn't turn out too well for Greinke. Bob's been involved in quite a few.
One with the Dodgers comes to mind. I'm sure he's telling Brownie all about it right now. 3-2. Foreman down on strikes. Well, 3 outs to go. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Pirates a 3-run lead. Major League saves leader with a 3-0 lead. Trying to save this one for Charlie Morton. Get Charlie his 7th win.
50th appearance. ERA down to 1.29. Opponent's hitting just .214 against him. Looking for one a little less, with a less stress than Friday night.
So Melanson will face Jay Bruce to lead off the bottom of the 9th inning. Pirates 3 outs away from earning a split. Hamilton will have to come out and hit second, as Diaz was inserted into Marlon Byrd's spot in the order. So Hamilton will bat second here at the bottom of the 9th inning, coming off the bench. Bruce 0 for 3 today. Charlie struck him out twice. Here's Mark's first pitch. That's up high, ball 1. Melanson extended his club record of 31 consecutive saves on Friday night. 33 on the year. He's now tied on the Pirates all-time list for 4th with Joel Hanrahan. 82 career saves with the Pirates. 1-1 to Jay Bruce. Pretty good looking pitch right there as Cervelli hung on to it.
Early in the game, we had a bit of a wide strike zone. It's tightened up a bit.
Two 2-1. There's a strike. Just about an inch inside or so.
Typically, that's what you see with Melanson. He's all around the lines. When the lines are outside the lines, rarely inside the lines. The box.
Down the left field line. That is a fair ball. Marte will pick it up out of the corner. And into second with a double is Jay Bruce.
As I mentioned that, he tried to go inside, and even there, that's top of the zone. And he wanted it in, left it out. Good swing from Bruce. A lot of lefties get on top of that pitch, up around the letters.
Billy Hamilton, first plate appearance today, coming off the bench. Hamilton, a .227 hitter. And he tries to slap this ball and fouls it back. Reds with a man at second. They've not had anybody pass second base today. Suarez had a double in the 7th. There were a pair of singles in the 3rd that got De Jesus to second. And now Bruce, the 3rd man to reach second base in the ballgame. Oh, 1 to Hamilton. That's pulled foul for strike 2.
Good cutter on the hands. Relax now in the infield. Don't have to worry about that bunt attempt.
The 0-2 coming to Hamilton from Mark Melanson with Bruce at second base. Nobody out.
Although with Hamilton, as taboo as it is in baseball to try to bunt with 2 strikes, you look at his numbers, he's just a .227 hitter, a .272 on base percentage, and when the defense backs up on you with 2 strikes,
gives him a better chance.
You don't have to be as quick out of the box. You could square and put it down. His chances aren't good with 2 strikes. Obviously, with the numbers he's put up. Good block there by Cervelli. Although eventually, if he were to start piling up, racking up hits with 2-strike bunts, teams would start playing him in with 2 strikes as well. Which, obviously with the infield in, increases your chances of getting ground ball through more holes.
2-2 to Hamilton. Two balls, 2 strikes to the Cincinnati speedster. Little comebacker. Melanson checks the runner. Now goes to first to get the out. 1 down.
Yeah, you don't want to take too much time checking the runner.
Not with him.
Melanson didn't. Just gave him a quick look, make sure he stays put, but you better get that ball over to first. Hamilton, as good as he runs.
Switch hitting catcher Tucker Barnhart, who's 0 for 3. A 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Long look in by Mark, getting the signs from Cervelli. Cervelli puts him down. And the first pitch to Barnhart. Strike 1. And that hits it. And if Melanson's been ejected, DJ Rayburn has thrown Mark Melanson out of the ball game. And now the umpires and Francisco Cervelli, they can't believe it. Cervelli is beside himself out there.
As he should be. This is ridiculous. This is unbelievable.
Cervelli's argument here is probably there's no way we're intentionally hitting a guy to bring the tying run to the plate. That one got away from Melanson inside. There's certainly no intent there on Barnhart.
I guess if you wanted to defend DJ Rayburn, you defend him by saying, Melanson has some of the best control in baseball. He's only hit 1 guy all year long. He's only walked 9 guys unintentionally. But the common sense part of it says, for one, what would be the reasoning? Why would the Pirates want to hit one of the Reds, especially to put or bring the tying run to the plate? That's the common sense part of it.
Cervelli crouching down behind the plate. Joaquin Soria has come out of the bullpen and starting to throw here. Mark Melanson pleading his case with the crew chief, Joe West, with Clint Hurdle looking on.
Joe West just said we have to, and I don't agree with that, but he says we have to.
Well, they had the ejections with the bench clearing situation preceding that. Warnings were given.
There's always warnings, and guys, you see all the time after warnings that guys get hit and they don't get ejected because it's their opinion whether or not there's intent. So obviously DJ Rayburn said there was intent there.
So Cervelli setting up inside. The pitch inside hits Barnhart. Cervelli was upset. Kerwin Danley coming in there to get him. So Melanson leaves after 1/3 of an inning. He's responsible for the 2 base runners. And Clint Hurdle will have to go with him because this was after warnings. So the pitcher and the manager have to head up to the clubhouse.
Now, agree or not, both sides. I think the Reds would probably agree that there was no intent, but they're obviously happy with the decision to get the Pirates closer out of there. But these guys know, the Reds know, that Melanson wasn't trying to hit Barnhart. There was no reason for it, for one, and the game situation for another.
Well, they're happy about it because the Major League's saves leader has been taken out of the ball game by the umpire.
But you notice they weren't upset. They weren't upset like, hey, what are you doing? They were like, yay, break for us.
Right. Walker and Bruce discussing it. Probably agreeing. So Joakim Soria now is in a save situation. Pirates with a 3-0 lead, bottom of the 9th inning. 1 out, 2 on.
Looking for his first National League save. Fourth appearance, 3-1 record, 2.85 ERA. He's 23 for 26 in save situations for Detroit. So now you got Suarez, the shortstop. If he doesn't hit into a double play, this is where you're going to question Joey Votto and the anger getting the best of him, because that would be the situation where you'd expect him to pinch hit, representing the tying run. I'm sure Brian Price wishes he had Joey Votto to send on deck. Just his presence, actually. You just throw him out there on deck, it makes you think, and believe me, the catcher and the pitcher knows he's on deck. It makes you, if Votto's standing out there instead of DeJesus as a pitcher, you're not walking this guy. You're giving him better pitches to hit, I think, in my opinion.
Soria delivering to Suarez. Fires it past him for a strike. Clint Hurdle did want to stay away from Soria today if he could help it, after a long outing in his debut 2 games ago. In the air to center field. Back goes McCutcheon. And he's got it on the track. 2 men out. Bruce heads to third. Soria retires Suarez. Now the Reds with runners at the corners.
Fans excited. Fly ball hit decent. Some of the bigger guys in this lineup, though, they hit it decent. It has a chance to go out. Suarez got him excited for a moment.
Barnhart at first base, Bruce at third, and the batter will be Ivan DeJesus Jr., who is 2 for 3 today. Ground ball to second. This should do it. Walker will throw on to first, and that is the ball game. And the Pirates shut out the Reds. Soria gets his first save with the Buccos. Mark Melanson a hold, by the way.
Yeah.
And Charlie Morton gets his 7th win as the Pirates defeat the Reds 3-0 and split this 4-game series to go 4-2 on this 6-game road trip.
Yeah, it looked pretty ho-hum from the get-go. Martin was on top of his game. The Pirates got a couple big hits, one from Marte, one from Neil Walker. And then the fireworks started, slowed things down a little bit, made things certainly interesting, but big win for the Pirates, 10th shutout of the year, end up coming away with a split.
So the Pirates winners here today. They are 61-43 on the season. Let's send you back to our Root Sports studios in Pittsburgh. Dan Potash and Kent Tekulve.